Hi Jules Cruise Companion. Just recently I made a video in relation to I think that I'm coming to the end of my cruising career. There's probably another little adit that I would like to put to that, and that will be this video today. The other thing that I've been thinking about of why I think this is coming to the end of my cruising career is, for example, over the last 5 to 7 years since I've been having my issues with my personal health condition, my pseudomyxoma, peritonei, my incurable appendix cancer that is not terminal but is just incurable. I have been trying to find more ways of being healthier. And one of the ways that I've discovered to become healthier is to cut out a lot of the food that I'd been eating because I felt that it was not being the best that it could be for me. So, of course, I did all the exploring online in relation to low fat, increased exercise, and then I stumbled across the low carb, and the low carb became the keto, which is really quite difficult. And I did that a few years ago, and I managed to do that quite well and got a little bit healthier and fitter. But I still struggled, and you will be able to look back at all of my different videos and you can see fluctuating of weight, etc. And even to the point of when you listen to the audio before I had my cancer treatment, you can actually hear my difficulty in breathing, where I could not necessarily finish a full sentence without having to take a breath, and that was just because of where the cancer was in relation to my diaphragm. It did not allow consistent movement of my diaphragm, and my lungs didn't function well. Well, clearly that's not happening at the moment. But what I've discovered in the last year or so, and the boat is rocking quite badly because we're zooming towards Mumia to do a medical evacuation, is that I have gone basically on an elimination style diet where I've been eliminating all sugar, and all sugar means all alcohol. In my cruising career, I was a very heavy drinker. I used to get cruise drinks packages, and I could drink sailors literally under the table with my drinking prowess. Just ask a couple of cruise buddies, especially on a trip to Papua New Guinea. Panama Canal, transatlantic, transpacific. I was a heavy drinker. And I'm not a heavy drinker at the moment. I'm not a drinker at all at the moment. I've fallen off the wagon a couple of times, but we all do. And the key is when we fall off the wagon, we can get back on again. We just don't live in that perpetual cycle of negative thinking. So I have moved along on my health journey and trying to get as fit and as healthy as possible. And I have not been able to do that in relation to consumption of alcohol and consumption of sugars. And what I am discovering, especially over the last couple of cruises, where I have moved from keto to ketovore to straight carnivore, we're just eating meat, dairy and butter. I can manage it moderately okay. I'm also pretty consistent intermittent fasting. I've been doing that over the last couple of years, and I've got it down to 16/8 predominantly, fasting most days, anywhere between 18 to 20 hours. And on what I would call my days off when I was not working, I can fast for 24, 36 or 44 hours without an issue. So trying to move away from the concept that my body was becoming pre-diabetic, which it was demonstrating that it was by having little growths of skin everywhere and around the eyes and the amount of visceral fat, etc. So I was showing real signs of being pre-diabetic. and working in the health system and taking off people's toes and feet on a regular basis because of diabetes, which is potentially a preventable disease and is not, and is now, yeah, anyway. Look it up yourself. So what I'm choosing to do is I'm being as carnivore as possible. And what I am finding, and this is probably one of the reasons why I'm moving away from cruising, is because of my lack of capacity to control what I am eating. I am surrounded by sugar, cakes, ice cream, and alcohol all the time. And temptation, when anybody has been any form of addict, food addict, alcoholic, addicted to alcohol, not drugs and alcohol, just alcohol. And we are all addicted. We're an addicted society. We're a first world country of never being able to, we're just a first world country that just has too much. In addition to having the cancer, I also suffered from rheumatoid arthritis, inflammation of the joints, especially the knees, hips, ankles, etc. And I also suffered from reflux, from esophagitis and gastritis. And the arthritis, since I have been on the elimination diet, has decreased to the point where I barely take any anti-inflammatory medications. I do have one knee that is particularly sore because I keep walking on it, and the other knee is bone on bone, which I'm waiting for a joint replacement. Damage is already done. I can't do anything about that. The other thing with the gastritis and the reflux, where I was on Raprazole and a protein pump inhibitor to decrease the amount of acid in my stomach so that it didn't irritate the lining. I haven't needed to take that. I've been on carnivore for over 148 days, so I haven't actually had any of my anti-reflux medication now for many, many months. Where on this cruise I was offered via the casino 15 free drinks while actively playing on the tables and the slots. And on day one, sea day of this cruise, I did utilise 5 drinks of red wine from the casino. And what I found over that next night, last night, was that I actually had gastritis and esophagitis to the point where, thank goodness I had brought my medication, I actually needed to take the Raprazole, the protein pump inhibitor, to decrease the amount of esophageal pain that I suffered from having 5 glasses of wine over the period of 6 or 8 hours through the day. So that's another reason why I don't think cruising is right for me. There is just so much access to sugar and alcohol that my body just physically doesn't respond well to it. So one of the reasons why I feel I am moving away from cruising as being part of my core identity is because I do not want to be around the alcohol quite as much, and I don't want to be around the cakes and ice cream quite as much, where from a carnivore perspective, I can order the food here on a cruise ship, and carnivore is not an issue whatsoever. Intermittent fasting is a bit of a challenge because you've just got that temptation all the time. When you're an intermittent faster in your own space, you can control your own triggers. It's a little more difficult here on a boat. You do have the stairs, which I do. There is the gymnasium, the exercise equipment, which I haven't necessarily done, but I will do. And the deck walking is just beautiful with the vista of the open ocean, and there's elements of cruising that just excite me beyond belief. But there are other elements which I think are contributing to reasons why I am moving away from cruising as being a core part of my identity. And that is in relation to the access to the food and alcohol. It has got to do with control of self, and you just don't want to miss out on anything. You can be carnivore on a ship, you can be almost ketovore-ish on a ship, But the amount of times I was cruising in a year, I don't think I could keep that up, as well as keeping a control over my health, whether that's my lung health, whether that's my pre-diabetic health, whether that is health that is reflected in other ways, such as visceral fat components or adipose tissue, etc. So that is just another little bit of a summary of why I am going to be moving away from cruising over the next few years and moving into hopefully an environment where I don't have that much temptation in the Middle East by living in Jordan. Come and visit me while I'm in Jordan. Just a different way of approaching life in general that is very different to us in the developed world, in the first world. So this is Julie Jules, Cruise Companion, saying you can be carnivore on a ship. There is a lot of temptation, so if you have any particular strong feelings and emotions and connections to things like sugar and alcohol, maybe cruising isn't going to be the best option for you if you want to become healthier. If you can control yourself, good luck to you. I just don't seem to be able to do it. That's just not part of me. Enjoy your cruise life, enjoy your life, enjoy whatever comes your way. Stay safe, everybody.